Touchbacks are going to be a little different. The ball will be now placed on the 35-yard line instead of the 30. Now, they done inched this thing up, pause, like 15 yards now since like mid-2000s, early 2010s football. You used to get at the ball at the 20 for touchbacks. But I think I know what the NFL is doing. I think, of course, they always trying to increase scoring and offense, but they're trying to eliminate pre-50-yard line football. Now, think about this. I think the NFL is essentially trying to eliminate like half the field. So, look, face it. Football is determined, and the best football is played in the red zone, rather. And so that's where all the action is. That's where most games are decided, is red zone efficiency. And so, of course, there are plenty of spectacular plays that happen, between the 20s. But once you get into that 20-yard line, though, oh, man, that's where the real chess is being played. So, but the NFL seems as if it's like they want to speed up the process. They want to make each possession as compelling as possible. Look, you got to take this TV stuff into account. The TV contracts and they finna opt out of the current TV contracts they have now in 2029, which is going to explode the salary cap. Like, quarterback's going to be averaging like $500 million per contract or something astonishing like that. Dead ass, bro. It's gonna be ridiculous. If you think NFL contracts are ridiculous now, wait till they re-up and they start getting more of this global money in 2029. Another subject for another day. I say that because the TV contracts are influential now to the rules of the game. Because you don't want boring football. That's why the tush push is so much of an agenda right now, because it's not exciting football. It's boring football. It is. And for the most part, especially with the Eagles, you know what the outcome is going to be. And half the appeal with the NFL is the drama that comes with it. I'll get to that in a second. But with that being said, the ratings matter. The TV viewership matters. And they want to eliminate as much as that pre-50-yard line football as much as possible. You want it as compelling as possible. You want it to be it's almost a basketball method where it's just nonstop action. It's scoring. Now, of course, football will never be like that, I don't think, as long as they stick to, the basics of the game. But they want more scoring. They want more possessions to count, and they want more downs to matter, per se. So I completely get it. The NFL is like, the hell with it. Why not speed up the process of offense moving the ball downfield? So they're gonna do it anyway. A lot of teams get a lot of yards between those 20s, but I understand what the NFL is doing. You'll confuse yourself trying to always expect what you want and just try to put yourself. This is just what I do and how I think. I try to put myself in other people's thought process to see, now, why would they do this? Why are they doing this? So, moving the ball to the 35 for touchbacks, I get it. I understand it. Something I don't agree with, I think this is a bullshit. An emphasis on sportsmanship?
Hell no!
Huh? Where did this come from? Where did this come from? It's like this came out of nowhere. Because to my knowledge, I didn't see any melees. Maybe, it might have been a couple scraps. But it's always some kerfuffles going on in the middle of games in every sporting event. In every one, especially football, this emotional ass sport. But I totally don't get it why they're putting an emphasis on sportsmanship this year. So now what? We about to go back to the no fun league, like pre-2018. You couldn't do nothing, and then they finally started to loosen the grips on the celebrations and all that stuff. But I don't get where this emphasis on sportsmanship coming from. I saw that CeeDee Lamb can't do his little young thug little gesture or whatever. You get a 15-yard penalty for that. But I didn't sense any issues last year. Maybe the league knows something that we don't. Maybe it was some, online undercover beef that was going on between players that we don't know about in the black market of the NFL and the black internets. I don't know, but I don't like it because, look, man, if you up and you feeling it and you want to talk your shit, talk it. You just got to continue to back it up, and it's a repercussion to that. It's consequences to that. They know that. So these are grown men. These are not little kids. I don't understand why the NFL feels like they have to police all of this. Now, the gang gestures and all of that, I completely understand that. But, yeah, not liking the emphasis on sportsmanship. And then the method for measuring first downs is changing. Now, in the NFL, they'll switch from a chain gang now to a camera-based technology. The league announced, hey, the traditional chain gang crew, they'll still be on the sidelines. That I like. But in a secondary capacity, that I don't like. But overall, you got to be as accurate as possible in this day and age of gambling. Okay, look, the NFL, they had to do this. They had no choice, bro. Gambling, the amount of money that's coming in with that is too influential to the powers that be. We'll leave it at that. And the way that people have so much invested into their gambling habits or depths, depending on who you are, they're going to dissect every single play, let alone every single game decide and play. Okay, like Josh Allen and the Bills last year, not getting the 4th and 1 on a quarterback sneak and against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. And that's where all of this is coming from, by the way. But the league has to be as transparent as possible. They got to. It's 2025, baby. The technology is there, it's been there. So, but this is my concern with this. Because in watching the NFL game, one of our favorite things to do is sit there and watch the drama unfold. With, damn, did they get that first down on that 3rd and short, on that 4th and 1, whatever. That's it's going to take away the intrigue of that a little bit, I think, depending on how the technology is used. So, if the NFL was smart, they would try to figure out a way to, delay the answer to those first downs. But there's nothing like waiting on a ref to pull the chain and make their decision in front of 70,000 screaming fans and millions of fans watching on TV and, millions more streaming it, through their devices. It seems as if the league is always changing the rules for the Bills, though. I'm just saying, we talked about overtime earlier. Guess who that change spawned from? The Bills, because they didn't get the ball after we won the game in 13 seconds. Anyway, and then my last thing I want to point out, the NFL's takeover of Christmas. It was inevitable. It was in the making for a long time, too. For a long time. The NFL, once in a while, they would have a game on Christmas. It wouldn't be every Christmas. The Chiefs did, 4 or 5, games on Christmas. So, but the fact is that early in the NBA season and it's late in the NFL season when Christmas is on the calendar. So which one is more intriguing? Which one is going to provide a better product? Which one always does provide a better product no matter what time of year it is? The NFL, duh, in the words of my partner Deanna Hustle.
Duh.
But the NFL, when they saw how much money they could make and how they could strike the NBA and that lackluster viewership on Christmas, it was inevitable that they was gonna take that over. So, but I never enjoyed the NBA on Christmas. There's no intrigue in it, man. Y'all got 50,000 more games to go in this long ass season. Y'all only a month and a half in or 2 months in at this point in Christmas, dog. There's no intrigue in it. The only time the NBA is intriguing is in the playoffs. Sometimes down the stretch, basketball is good depending on how the races are. But NBA playoffs are great. I ain't even gonna lie to you with that. Still doesn't hold a candle to the NFL, let alone. And look, bro, the NFL draft be beating NBA playoffs in ratings. I think the NFL draft beats the NBA finals in ratings. So the NFL was just gonna come over the wire style and take over Christmas. It was, yeah, that Ben was gonna happen. I'm surprised it took this long. Shoot. But there's just no reason to tune in, man, with so many games left in the NBA, let alone his product is not as good as the NFL. So yeah. And by the way, I just want to add in that I was the one, remember, on Brian's World last season to mention the Chiefs taking over a yearly Christmas game, because we done already been on it so many times. Yes, we do it right. Growing up, I do remember great memories around Christmas and the holidays. Which brings me to the Chiefs and how we intertwine with Christmas and how the Chiefs should just take this holiday over. They really should. How the Cowboys and the Lions, you always know the Thanksgiving games are going to be there. Look, I want to start this bandwagon. I want to start it right now. Start a petition, whatever we got to do to make Christmas in Kansas City the official football game every single year. That should be the Chiefs holiday. Like the Lions and the Cowboys have Thanksgiving, the Chiefs should have Christmas Day at Arrowhead exclusively, baby.